So, at Common Sense, we're a little bit late to the party on AI, and we did feel like we should talk about it at least once this side of the year. So, the world has been changing a lot recently. AI has been changing a lot. It's a lot of fast-moving news. Yeah. A lot of people are really struggling to catch up. So we just want to have a conversation about, how's life going to change? How is it going to... Is it going to increase our productivity? Is it going to make everything horrible? Are we going to all lose our jobs? All of these panicky little questions that are getting to the back of people's heads. So, yeah, I know. Mike's terrified. So, I've currently got a piece that's about to come live on the Common Sense Network, and that's a big run. It's a big explainer piece that will be live, presumably when this goes out. Mike probably knows better than on that one. So this isn't really as much of an explainer as it is, how do we think that this is going to change things? How do we think things are going to get better?
Yeah. What's so fascinating to me, I think, so first and foremost, there's something to be said about the excitement I generally feel about AI. In that, I said this before, it's sort of the excitement that Meta tried to manufacture around the metaverse, the sort of, it's going to be the greatest thing ever, and where they're like, cool. Is the genuine excitement. Like, I've sat up on my bed, giddy. Initially, I should probably track. My AI journey was like, initially it was like, AI, whatever. Then it was like, oh, okay, that looks cool. Then it was like me in my bed, like, oh snap. And then I'm like awake at 2 a.m. like like laughing in bed at how quickly I can write an article or get an explainer piece done and things like that. So I'm genuinely excited by AI. And I also think it's going to, if it hasn't already, drastically mean some jobs, change industries such that some jobs are done. And lots of new jobs and new roles and new technologies obviously going to emerge. I don't know what you think.
I think in the UK nexus, AI is especially interesting because, especially since the 2008 financial crash, we've had major issues with productivity, major issues with underinvestment in workforces. And it's about, okay, is the UK on the decline? Maybe artificial intelligence, strong patent laws and investment in a new growing area could actually do the UK some good. I think for me that the two questions are really about the second part of what you said about how this affects workers. The jobs just vanish off the face of the earth. What happens to those people? And then also who does it benefit most? Because there'll be people who get the benefits of perhaps more leisure time, and at the same time I wonder who is the ultimate beneficiary of that. Is it going to be the workers or the owners of all these wonderful new technologies?
I think it's both, mate. I don't know what you think. I think it's both because you're right. There are some roles that won't exist. We spoke about this. If you're a copywriter that just kind of writes generic copy for medium-sized businesses, wake up. Because your job,
they're coming.
Get the CV out there, man.
Your days are limited.
Wally's there. He's at the window. He's knocking. Yeah.
But I think if you're someone like maybe you're an editor at a newspaper, or you're even a journalist that's looking to sort of write and explain a piece on AI, well, you can spend 80% less time just getting the form done because ChatGPT can do that for you. You're looking for a unique image. Is it called Midflow? I forgot what it's called, but there's this
Midfee, I think it is, or
can create one for you. If you're looking for some music to some copyright-free music to put on the back of a video, as you showed me today with, what was it, Google Music?
Google's got their own specific thing. I'm
gonna have to get the link to that.
Do you know what it's called?
Let me pull that up.
But it's crazy because what you can do with this, which you showed me earlier, is you can type in a sort of prompt like a sad song with like a 3/4 time signature that's perfect for someone who's feeling sad and needs to be, and it'll create a song out of thin air, which is crazy.
So if what might help is if we intersect something here which is made using the piece, right? It's called Music LM, and it's done by AI Test Kitchen with Google. So perhaps potentially that's something we can link.
With that as an example, there is, if you like, the beauty of artificial intelligence is that it's a bit two-sided. On one side, you have the sort of wariness of the people, millennials, people who grew up in the age of, the Terminator, of Wall-E, like you said, perhaps a more benign example. And then also the sort of limitless possibilities that artificial intelligence, opens up for people. And I think what will be interesting to see is how people take advantage of that, and then how we play, if you like, what's probably always going to be a catch-up game, which is, now that this new thing exists, how do we deal with that? If you've got, I heard a Drake AI cover the other day, and it's like for artists, especially smaller ones who don't have a label.
Have you seen that one where it can change it can make the voice AI, where I think someone got they got Kanye West to like introduce them at a conference using his voice, but just I thought that was crazy.
It's very, very crazy, very cool, and at the same time, in like a sort of maybe not even just political context, you have questions about, oh wow, if I'm thinking of this from the perspective of somebody who spreads this information, not saying that's me, the options are limitless. The options are limitless. I could have Barack Obama declaring nuclear war if I wanted to. And then you have some serious questions about who does it benefit?
Well, yeah, there's loads of questions at the moment about ethics, bad actors, and there's a lot of stuff coming out at the moment about, we've got AI to produce things, and we've got AI to check whether things are AI, and we're coming out with all of these new things. One of the most interesting things that happened recently, at least from where I sit, is early in May, there was a leaked Google memo, and the memo said, we're fucked. We are completely screwed. Facebook had a leak in like January, February sort of time, and it was their Llama model. And when that got leaked to open source, all of a sudden everyone's using that. And everyone is producing their own things, these new things, and they're doing stuff at 100th of the cost that Google and ChatGPT, so OpenAI and Microsoft, all of them, this analyst at Google has sat there and gone, we're screwed, so's OpenAI, so's Microsoft. Anyone who's putting money into this, we need to stop doing that. We need to focus, or we need to start working smarter, not harder, and interacting with the open source guys, because they know how to do this at such a small level, and because it's micro feeding and micro developing stuff, rather than trying to develop these huge models that cost everything, but then are only 2% more accurate than these things that are being developed for like $10.
I mean, people are concerned about the pace. I mean, we saw Elon Musk not too long ago, alongside other tech CEOs, sort of write an open letter saying we need to develop some sort of ethical council, or we need to hit a global pause on how fast this thing is being developed. It's hard to read it objectively, because there's a cynical part of me that goes, well, is Elon Musk
he's gonna make the most out of that 6 months?
Do you know what I mean? Just so Twitter can really wake up, whatever kind of AI integration that they're looking to launch. And then you've got, the CEO of Google also admitting that, we have technology that's way more capable, but that we don't think it's quote unquote safe yet to release. And so we want to learn about this current one we've put out and how the public's interacting with it. Again, a part of you wonders, is that true? Is that just something you say because you're scared that OpenAI is going to eat your lunch, as it were? But then here's the one thing that's really scared me one time. I was telling you before, when I was watching Google talking to 60 Minutes, when they said that, well, we put out Brad, or that we put out this kind of AI model, and we've fed it an English data set, and it starts speaking like a different language to us. And they're like, we never taught it that, but it just learned that on itself. And they look kind of wide-eyed. And I'm like, why are you excited by this? That is scary. It's now going beyond the data set. You've fed it, and none of you can explain how it works.
No,
You're just sort of like,
box,
it's just like, it just uses data. I'm like, listen, if it starts teaching itself languages, what else can it teach itself? And are we getting closer to iRobot? Because for me, that's the end goal. When we have these robots that are literally body slamming us to the floor, are totally in charge, that's what I'm scared about, Keir.
So this is a really interesting point, right? So there's two kinds of AI. There's narrow AI, which is the thing that we're doing at the moment. That's what generative AI is a part of. And there's general AI. And they still think that we're quite a way off. As in the consensus is that we're quite a way off general AI. The early estimates are saying 2029. So when I say quite a way off, that's still like but those are the earliest estimates. We're still so far away, at least by their predictions, we're so far away off that point. But
that's hard to believe.
Knows?
Like, they must have known, and they must have been sitting on, like OpenAI,
a lot of this technology
on ChatGPT, let's just say, because that's what captured the imaginations of millions. They must have been sitting on that for a while.
I think what's interesting about this sort of situation here is you have, if you like, corporate giants like you're talking about, scared of the potential implications of, the democratizing of, certain powerful technologies. As in, if I can myself create this or that, why do I need a massive, slower, bigger corporation that might not even necessarily give me my cut of what I'm, producing or making? And at the same time, you've got their fear, which is if this moves too fast and outside of their control, Who's gonna, you know?
So you think
who's gonna control
your
this?
lens is that it's the companies trying to control?
Oh, no,
us.
no. My lens is that you've got, if you like, three big intersections here. You've got people who are going to be able to use this technology. It's going to change their lives. It's going to democratize things. It's going to make things better, more productive. You've got massive companies who both want to lead with this and are also scared of the implications to their bottom line of smaller, nimbler companies, individuals
how they
working with
monetize
it.
it as well and stuff like that.
And then you have governments on like this other side of things who are going to have to essentially play a catch-up game. But the degree to which they have to catch up will be entirely dependent on how close to the ground they stay with this issue. And that, if you like, is, you know, the iRobot situation. That's perhaps one of the greatest fears is, can these players, if you like, work together to work some sort of framework out where...
Mate, but I don't know if you saw the last time the Facebook CEO, or the TikTok CEO rather, was in Congress, like getting grilled, and they're asking him, so how do you turn it off?
Yeah.
How do you turn it off? And you're thinking...
They don't understand.
They have no
They don't
clue
understand it.
how it works. So how government is going to sort of legislate, I just don't get. But I do have ethical concerns.
So yeah, ethical concerns, absolutely massive. But I did just want to go back to this point about why now, right? So why has this popped up now? And the ethical concerns are obviously long term. They've been around since the start of AI being a thing. So the big debate, well, at least the debate massively kicked off when Kasparov got beaten in '96 by Deep Blue, and he lost. He wanted to get a rematch. Rematch happened in '97. He lost again. And everyone all of a sudden was going, oh, Y2K, we're screwed. Like, everything's going to go wrong. And it was so easy to panic about it, right?
Yeah.
And the ethical concerns, 100% they're there. And this is different from '97. This is so much bigger than what it was before, right? But there is a tendency to panic about this stuff before we've learned about it properly. And what I think we should be doing is starting to play around with it, as Mike said, playing around with it in your room, just doing it for fun. Ask it stupid questions. I asked it to do like sketches from, like, I don't know, you know, pick a name out of a hat, like Trump delivering a sketch comedy piece, right? But I think that what we need to do is we really need to learn about this stuff at a personal level, because this is going to touch every single aspect of our lives.